Good morning, beloveds. Thank you for gathering in the light of holy truth and bringing your light to shine for the salvation of the world. To remind us that we're always called by the Father. He would have it no other way to celebrate infinite love. As we focus on the light today, the light that we are infinite, what's infinite, unchanging, unmoving. That's truly the only meditation. As that, at first it seems like it's on that, because we're so used to not being that infinite light. So Jesus is using the power within consciousness to focus, to notice. It's turning it back on itself. Whereas we used to notice what's wrong, what's the problems in the world. Jesus is turning back to see the contrast between what's perfect, whole, holy, and complete, and then the idea that we have the power as consciousness to move between noticing what we are and what we're not, as we turn back this way to see, what's really here? What's really here? What am I? That contrast becomes so great. We no longer have a desire to allow that movement in consciousness into other, what's not happening. As we focus on the light today as infinite beings that we are, infinite love celebrating itself, Jesus gives us the lesson, I lose the world from all I thought it was. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness to deny this lesson? I lose the world from all I thought it was. To say, oh, this can't be true. What keeps the world in change but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Their source is raised to question. Jesus, will you show me? I'm willing to see the source of beliefs and thoughts. From whence do they come? Yet is salvation easily achieved? For anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted. For to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or ever will think. Jesus, is there any desire to hold on the source of all ideas I think or ever thought or will think? Show me that energetic investment to hold on to those. I'm willing to see through that and see the true source. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking that you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press upon it, and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Jesus, will you show me today any beliefs in which I hold myself and the world prisoner below my level of awareness? Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. Jesus, will you show me where I'm holding the bitter thoughts of death in my mind below my level of awareness? This feels worthy of just going really deep and all the way, Jesus. I'm willing to see it in the light of truth. And face it directly and see that it cannot stand before the light. The belief that I deserve death for creating a world. Jesus, is there a belief that I desire to experience death as the only just punishment for the creation of the world? I'm willing to see it. When you look upon these things with me, you'll see they're nothing. This is the ease that he promises. There's no difficulty at all when they're directly looked at. Just the sideways, trying to look at it or avoid it. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning. What you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Jesus, show me my wishes for this world. The desire that it's acted out, those wishes. I'm willing to be fully present with wishes in the light of truth and let them evaporate as easily as they came. And fully experience that deep wish for the experience of other. See how easily even this melts in the light of truth, the light of innocence, the light of unborn awareness, the light of infinity, the light of heaven. Perhaps you think you did not make the world. Jesus, is there any thoughts or beliefs below the level of awareness that I did not make the world? I'm willing to look directly with you. But came unwillingly to what was all made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. Jesus, show me in my heart that I did indeed create the world. I'm willing to see it, hear your voice in this. And let this desire for this melt away so easily in your holy hands. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. Jesus, I'm willing to see. I found exactly what I looked for when I came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind of what you would want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. Jesus, I'm willing to see that ideas leave not their source. In the light of divine being, as divine being, find that ideas can leave their source. Is this possible? We see in the light of truth they cannot, because all is one. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you you made the world you see, and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself. Jesus, I'm willing to see any pride, any desire for experience of pride over God. Show me. I'm willing to see that seeing all the pride is the freedom. Pride denies the Father. Pride is the gateway to unhappiness. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself. Impervious to what you think. Jesus, are there any beliefs that still in the subconscious mind that I'm impervious to what I think? I'm willing to see. In God's world, you are impervious. You would not want these thoughts at all. You would have no thoughts or desires. Impervious to what you think and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world! Exclamation point. Jesus, I'm willing to see in the light of truth now that there's no world, as you say. I'm willing to see that directly and happily. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can, let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and still go farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. No, I'm with you with each step. No, I'm with you with each step. Forward or back, I'm still here. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. This is the gift of infinite love within the mind. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it an experience that's not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course and in the exercise we do it today. The opportunity for this is always here in the light that we are. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can lose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness. Jesus, are there any desires or beliefs to experience sickness in myself and others below my level of awareness? I'm willing to see this directly. And the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. True life, life everlasting. When you let yourself see the impossibility that death is real. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation of today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? this timeless, changeless light, infinite love, vast, infinite love. Does the light know beginning or end? This is why you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. This is why you're before time began. Because the Father cannot know time, just as you do not know time. There is no place where you can suffer, no time that can bring change to your eternal state. In the light of divine being, can time bring change to the light, the eternal state, in our direct experience? How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? How can a world of time and place exist in the light of divine being that we are? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To know yourself. This entire course is to know yourself, as God created you. Feel the happiness in that, the simplicity of that, the simplicity of the light. To free the world from every kind of pain is to change your mind about yourself. There's no world apart from your ideas because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind and thought, the entire world. Jesus, I'm willing to see that I maintain the world within my mind and thought. Shine away and let this light shine away every thought that this world is outside of myself. In the light of divine being, is this world outside or inside? Within. The only answer is within. Within the one. Yet if you are created as God created you, you cannot think apart from Him. In the light of divine being, is it possible to think apart from God? Hear the answer. Hear the joy that comes from the answer. Feel the joy. Nor make what does not share His timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like Him? See that this world cannot create like the Father. Unless it does, it is not real, and it cannot be at all, and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. In the light of divine being, can we find any exceptions? God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was His thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts would made it, and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world! Explanation point. This is by your own command within. Release the world. Your real creation waits for this relief to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. Jesus, I'm willing to see what my true creations are. God shares his fatherhood with you who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. So as the Father, I and the Father are one. I'm willing to see that and see the happiness that comes from that. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin as something separate from him. In the light of truth, Jesus, I'm willing to see in this light shared with my brother. Nowhere does the Father end. Can an ending to the Father be found? In direct experience in the light of truth. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Father and the Son and break away a part of God himself and thus destroy his wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts you ever thought about it and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there. No more can we. For we are in the home our Father set for us, along with them. And we who are as he created us would lose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free, to see we are free. A world of unrelenting joy, unending joy. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice twice today with this. I who remain as God created me would lose the world from all I thought it was. Jesus, is there any thought or desire below my level of awareness? The belief that losing the world is not a good thing. That losing the world is a problem. This is a different kind of loss. This is losing something you never needed to have. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is free along with you. This is contemplation. This is the only true meditation that Jesus is pointing to here today. The contemplation on this lesson. Let your mind in quietness be changed. The quietness is what changes the mind. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Jesus, in the light of divine being, the light that we are, can we ever be released alone? for there is only one to be released. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say, whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I lose the world from all I thought it was. And choose my own reality instead. I choose the reality that's been given to me by the Holy Father and accept my position as his son, whole, heal, and perfect and complete, all within me. All within me is an expression of divinity, of divine love. Amen. So today is a day, I'll just continue speaking about our day. Stephen, you're with us today. Every day is really a contemplation on divinity, on what's already complete. Because we are complete and whole and holy, very holy as the Father made us. The greatest value is to see that it's all the same, whether removing or unmoving. And yet these quiet contemplations with Jesus are everything, and hearing his voice and that deep dropping into the listening to the voice for God. So today is a day of very deep contemplation and listening. Deep sense of being and contemplation on the lesson. So let it be revealed within us. Let that love bloom like a flower. To be kissed so deeply by love, by our divine nature, and nothing of this world can place a shadow on it. Just refuse to follow thought. And contemplate what's vast and unchanging. So that's the contemplation on what's unchanging. We're so used to contemplating thoughts. This is a contemplation on what has no thought. Before thought began. Some call this the Godhead. The silent contemplation. And Jesus is also reminding me too, the power of just contemplating with him every sentence in a new covenant. Just go, okay, Jesus, show me this one. It's like the Course. Just to fully let what he's showing bloom in the mind, so it becomes like yes. The yes, the no's just melt away, and the yes. and have that deep conversation with him on every sentence, or every sentence of the lesson like we're doing. So it's not just the words on a page anymore for us. It's, yes, I get how every sentence of this Course in Miracles and a new covenant is true. And to see this world in the divine light is my true identity. And in this contemplation, the mind falls away. It can't survive because it's no longer powered. There's no power given to it. Because we know as we look in the light, what happens to the mind? Maybe some arguments for a while, but if we keep looking at the denials directly, they're burning out. And the mind just falls naturally silent to its natural state. That's why it's so beautiful. Muji calls it Manti Sahaja, his home, the natural state of being. So all the emphasis on the light first. That's where all the power is focusing on the light. That's the contemplation on light. So thank you for joining us, Stephen, our brother. We love you. You're in our hearts as we contemplate you, a symbol of God in our mind. Love you.